Hakadosh Boker Or. Bekiim Halacha 3, day 81, page 175. We are in the middle of Halacha Hey. If you remember, we were speaking about the night of Kippur. That we said that on the night of Kippur, the minhag is to do the tzitzit, right, on Erev Kippur, right, beforehand, in order that we should pray with kavanah, and we're going to make the Beracha. So he says, even if it's going to be after sunset, there is still a basis to permit someone to say the Beracha for another 13.5 seasonal minutes during Hashemashot kavanah. After that moment, though, right, but once it becomes Tzedek Chavim, then he doesn't make a Beracha on the Talit, which is going to be the Yud Gimel the Kol V'Chetzi, Hamvarech Yeshlo Amma Sheismoch. This, by the way, I actually saw at a wedding once. I remember I was at a wedding, and I saw that the rabbi went and he told them, make the Beracha. And it was right after Shekiah, but it was during Hashemashot. So therefore the rabbi told me, no, why not? You could still do it during Hashemashot. So that's the Shita that we just mentioned right now. No. He says that you have what to rely on, yeah? You're able to. Even if it is after sunset, there's basis to permit someone to say the Beracha for another 13 and a half minutes. 235, let's see the footnote on page 176 on the bottom. 235. Maran HaRishon LeTzion ruled that if someone wishes to put on his talit on the evening of Yom Kippur after sunset during Hashemashot, there's a lachic basis to justify saying the Beracha on the mitzvah. This is because there's a sfek to say that he's obligated to say the Beracha. One sfek is that maybe the halacha is the opinion of the Rosh, that we're obligated to have a tzitzit attached during the daytime garment, even if you're wearing it at nighttime, and you make a Beracha. And even if the halacha follows the opinion of the Rambam, that it's exempt, maybe Ben Hashemashot is daytime. Furthermore, the Mishnah Berurah asserted that the halacha follows the opinion of Rabbi Yosef that the entire period of Ben Hashemashot is for sure day until mamash, a moment before dusk. Normally, we try to refrain from doing a beracha if we really need to, obviously, or even if there's a svek to say it. But nevertheless, if someone insists reciting a beracha, he has ground to rely on. Basically, that's what he's trying to say. The Rishon LeTzion issued a similar ruling regarding reciting a beracha of tefillin when putting them on during Ben Hashemashot. So technically, you have what to rely on. Okay, if you wanted to make a beracha. Alternatively, the Rishon LeTzion of David ben Zimra, right? He cited the David ben Zimra, the Radbaz, ruling regarding a beracha or mitzvah. The principle of svek does not apply. In the response to Omer, the Rishon LeTzion ruled that whenever Maran ruled that a blessing should be recited over mitzvah, the principle of the David can be applied in practice. In such a case, since Maran followed the opinion of Rabbeinu Tam regarding sunset, so therefore for sure you could make a beracha over the talit. Meaning, if Maran always paskins like Rabbeinu Tam, so if it's not nighttime until Rabbeinu Tam Bichlal, forget about Ben Hashemashot now of the 13.5 minutes, even until Rabbeinu Tam. So for sure you can make a beracha. The Rishon LeTzion added weight to this ruling in the Chazon Ovadia Yamin Noraim based upon the response to the Ma'aril. He said in reality the time in Mitzvah Tzitzit is not determined by day or night, rather daylight or nighttime darkness. This is because the Torah says Uritem Oto, which can be seen. So since there's still enough daylight during Hashemashot to see the Tzitzit, there's definitely an obligation to have the Tzitzit and to make a Beracha. Another possible justification for saying Beracha during Hashemashot is based upon the principle forwarded by the Tumat Hadesh. And by the way, that's what the rabbi told me when I asked him. Because they're doing a chuppah, and I remember I asked him, he told me, Uritemoto, it's written. So Uritemoto, you could still see during Hashemashot. So ever since you could still see, so therefore you're still obligated in tzitzit. Another possible justification for the reciting the talit during Hashemashot is based upon principle for the Tumat Hadeshin, that when dealing with the mitzvah of the Torah, meaning Doraita, you could always make a beracha if there's a svek sveika to justify it. This is the reason the halacha permits to saying a beracha over a mitzvah, counting the sfirat ha'omen as long as it's svek sveika. The Rishon LeTzion however did not offer the solution to the mitzvah tzitzit during Hashemashot. This is probably because there's no proof to the Tumat Hadeshin principle applies to the mitzvah that one does not need to perform. You remember that the mitzvah of tzitzit is different than any other mitzvah, because you're not obligated to do it. It's only if you have a 4 garments, then you do it. So it's not really the same as the other mitzvot. Okay, but he says no one has the choice of not counting the days of the Omer, but anyone may choose to wear not to wear a 4 garment. The Halacha Berurah ruled that one must not say beracha during Ben Hashemashot, even though it's a svek sveika to justify. This is because a person has the choice not to wear the talit altogether. It's not an obligation. Therefore, it's just best not to put it on. Of course, this contradicts the ruling of Rabbi Omer in the Chazon Ovadia, but those volumes were composed after the publication of the Halacha Berurah. Nevertheless, it is true that Rishon LeTzion also had some reservations about this issue. He did not recommend reciting the blessing. He only just said that there's basis to justify it. So again, you have what to rely on. You got everything here and there. Fine. What about when you're unsure when is sunset? So the Kaf HaChaim Sofer comes and he writes that even if someone is unsure whether or not the sun is already set, it might actually still be day. He still must not say the beracha over the talit. In such a case, there's multiple reasons to justify reciting the beracha. Nevertheless, because of svek seika, it's not enough to do it. Okay, so therefore he says if we follow the principle of Rishon LeTzion to permit the beracha, so then we don't have an ordinary svek seika, so then there's no problem whatsoever. Fine. Next, number 6, halacha number 6. Minhag kama kiilot. There's going to be a minhag in some kiilot. Shashich tzibur mititav b'tzilit below beracha. Right, this is Ashkenazim and others as well. they come and they put on a talit without a beracha before he does even arvit. V'chen yesh kehilot shenagul litzadet b'talit gadol kol Kabbalat Shabbat or Kabbalat Shabbat they do it also as well. Ve'av v'shesh ma'achonin shekaru ta'agara minhag. That means even though some people go against this minhag, nevertheless, anach lem nisam, let them. They have what to rely on, and especially if they're doing it mibod yom. Because if they do it mibod yom, obviously, so then it's going to be even more. So let's see what it says here. Okay, it says number 236, the custom of a cantor wearing talit. The Magen Avraham said in Mishabura stated that a chazan must always wear a talit while praying. This is based upon the midrash that Hakadosh Baruch Hu came and he told Moshe Rabbeinu to be like a cantor wearing a talit. So from which the Magen Avraham inferred that the cantor always wears a talit. He then cited the Lechem Chamudot, stating that not only the cantor but any mourner who says kaddish also should say it for the respect of the congregation. The Mishnah Berurah explained that even at night the cantor wears a talit in honor of the congregation. So mamash, it's kavod tzibur. Because of the kavod tzibur, he puts on a talit. Yeah. The Acharonim offer different rationalizations for this custom, since it seems contradicting the ruling of the Bach and W.K. Yosef, right, said it above, right, that it's forbidden to wear talit gadol at nighttime. See the Halacha Brura and Piskei Teshuvot, Yekul Yosef. Most communities no longer practice the custom of having a cantor wear the talit at a vervit, unless it's the cantor is wearing a short sleeve shirt without a jacket. Amongst Ashkenazi Jews, this custom has been more or less preserved. Their custom is for the cantor to wear talit, right, during silichot, even when reciting them during the nighttime. In all cases, again, he does it without a beracha. What about during Kabbalat Shabbat? So he says the custom of Yemenite Jews is to wear a talit for the Friday evening prayers, based upon the Gemara statement where it says, Yehuda says, the practice of Yehuda Bar Levi was a basin of warm water was brought to him on Friday afternoon. He would bathe his face, hands, feet, dress himself, cover himself with linen talit, with tzitzit, so that he appeared like an angel. So therefore he wanted to be like an angel. So he used to come like an angel. As explained above in Halacha number 3, right? He comes and he says, however, right, many poskim rule that it is incorrect to wear talit gadol at all at nighttime. The response of Bet David, citing Rav Yosef Giktali, he wrote emphatically, he comes and he says there's no basis wearing a talit during the night times, whether it's on Shabbat or Yom Tov. The Kabbalah dictates that one must not wear talit after sunset, even if one of the poskim ruled otherwise. His ruling is totally outnumbered. We must protest against anyone that wants to do this, which is contrary to the ruling of the Rambam and the Rosh, obviously, Rabbeinu Avraham and David, right, the Ramban. Although the Talmud states that the Torah scholars have the custom of wrapping themselves in a talit and going out to the street on Shabbat, right, to greet the queen of Shabbat on Friday evening, it is still during the day. Okay, the Leket HaKatzir also brought down the passage. He says, while I was in Livorno, I witnessed Rav Chida wearing his talit for Mincha late Friday afternoon, but immediately afterwards he took it off. Nevertheless, the author of the Minchat, Elazar, he adopted the custom of Yemenite Jews. See the comments of the Piskei Teshuvot and the Halacha Brura and the Yalkut Yosef.